Alright, well, in this video, I'll be playing Tiny Glade while you study or fall asleep. Now, I'm not the best builder, but I do like telling stories, so grab a snack, sit down, and relax. So I haven't played too much of this game, but I'm somewhat familiar with how it works. I don't know where to start. We go for like a spooky vibe in January. Flowery's kind of nice, actually. Oddly enough, where I am, it's a little warm, so it doesn't really feel like a wintry idea. And they have a theme. Okay. I'm leaning towards this Flowery. It's kind of nice, actually. So let's do that. Oh, that's cute. They kind of give you a little bit of a starting area, looks like. So from what I've seen, it's actually flat when it starts. So, why don't we work around this? Yeah. I think, first and foremost, we need a little bit more space. I think we can start here. Maybe clear out some of these trees. Open up the environment a bit. Where are you? There we go. Yeah, I think we could start over here. Let's maybe put one back. Alright. I'm thinking every good town has a blacksmith, so this spot is speaking to me. So let's go with that. We could do sort of a small square house. Work with this. Let's give him a bit more space in the back. So maybe he's not much of an indoor body. He likes to actually get stuff done outside. Now, I think we should get a bit of an idea for the color of the buildings here. I feel the blue is really nice. Which one, I don't know, but let's just go with this one. Whoops. Maybe we would have a bit of wear. And that wear would be, oh. Yeah. Probably just a simple gray. That works. And let's see, what do these paths look like? Okay. Oh wow. That one feels... This one feels a little too sophisticated. Okay, we can delete the path. I'm kind of liking this one. Small pebbles. So let's do that. This one. Okay. Now, maybe he has an entrance. Begins to head up that hill, and then another one that circles over here. You can just start to draw out a vague outline. Looks like we have a little friend joining us. Wow, that's loud. Anyways, get back to building. So let's just say this path kind of continues off to who knows where. We'll deal with that later. And for now, we focus on our blacksmith. That, like we said, maybe he likes to work outside. Let's give him a little area behind his building. Something like this. And then we put some of these up. There we go. And then let's say we get a bit of a thinner path paved right into his backyard. Now he needs a back door, right? Honestly, I think some of this backyard, a lot of it, just won't have grass. Maybe around the edges, it's a little bit harder to get to. And then we could say maybe he has a little hobby. He tends to feed flowers back here. Maybe put a little gate up in front. Maybe. That's nice. Now, our blacksmith's backyard is feeling a bit empty. Except that. Seems like they might have heard me. Because he's already got his animal. The little bird. To join him. That bird better be careful though. Now, let's see what else we have here. I'm sure that there's... Maybe we can bring this over here. He works on the house pretty often. Even though he shouldn't be climbing at his old age, he does. But he does. And he's got to keep some sort of firewood so that his furnace keeps burning. And we could tuck that away right around here. Could even close it in a bit. What else can we find? Maybe a bench. Good. Probably get rid of some of this. I guess rather we need to put... There we go. Now, how do I get rid of it? We'll just move it to the side for now. And we'll bring our bench over here. So I'm sure his wife gets tired of him not working inside and comes out to watch. I could say that this is one of his hobby projects over here. Does a little carpentry on the side. Maybe she does a bit of gardening herself. She's a little jealous of his garden. Just a little. And then this little bucket throws me off. I don't know that I just want candles. So maybe that little birdie that was on the hammer has a little home over here. It's perfect. That's a very simple backyard. It's not much, but he has a friend while he works. He has a garden to tend to, and he has company if he needs it. But can't see anything, can he? So let's put out some lights, maybe. Maybe he's got a lantern here. We probably also need one on this path. There we go. And then front of the house. Alright, now no one's gonna be able to sit here. Come on now. I imagine he comes up here for some of the sunrises. And sits here. You know what? Better idea. Let's switch these two. Still getting the hang of these camera controls. But we're getting there. And I think this chair over here would work perfectly if there wasn't a giant. Oops. There we go. That's nice. Maybe we can extend the path a little bit, just so you don't have grass going in your shoes. So now, maybe they have a window. It's a little awkward. There we go. A lot of options here. What is that? It's a pitchfork. We could roll with the shovel. Turn it around. Maybe lean it up against. Let me put this towards the back. Over where he does his gardening. That makes a bit more sense. Then I think we need to add a couple windows here on the side. Oh, This definitely should be centered. That looks good. I don't even know if there should be anything on the side here. Maybe some backup gardening tools. They store over here. They might have a little cubby hole somewhere back here. Or basement. But we'll say that he keeps his stuff there. Some finished projects, maybe. And possibly one simple, maybe a simple lantern or window on this side. There we go. I like that. The side of the house over there will stay pretty quiet. Oh, this might need to come down a little bit. That looks good. So there we have our blacksmith. Okay. I like that. The birds have a home. Blacksmith has a home. The flowers have a home. Well, I think that he's probably getting pretty hungry, so let's build a grocery store. Gotta feed the people. I think a larger structure like this would probably be good. Maybe a larger entrance here. Wow. Could make a really wide door. And we could put some things out in the front. Food stand. And we'll bring one over here. Do some vegetables. And let's bring. It's at the sunrise. I'm sure the blacksmith comes out, takes a look every day. Or that's the sunset. I think it's the sunset. So he's probably working on a late night project. Or going to sleep. Who knows? So I'm thinking that we need some more. We need some more sort of produce. This could be some rice, potentially. Some bags of feed, maybe. Could even move this over here. Just gonna make it line right up with the wall. And then I can bring these out. Turn them just a bit. There we go. And then I think I saw some pumpkins in there earlier. Oh, or we can do that. Probably some potatoes. Maybe rolls or something. Bread rolls. And then maybe we could store some sort of pumpkins back here. There we go. Is there another? Oh, that's perfect. This could sit right over here. Maybe they were too heavy and fell off. I like that. Something to really introduce you to this town's grocery store. And it looks like the sheep is going to go make a sword. Oh. Okay. Mary Poppins has taken over the sheep. So let's see if we can come up with some good windows for this place. Alright. Don't imagine there would be much on the walls inside. And then, similar to the blacksmith, I actually want there to be a garden back here. Maybe just to produce extra food, veggies, but more so just another garden. What's wrong with that? Let's do... Could you put flowers on a garden? Or on a... No, you can't. On a path. So maybe that's what we make first. There we go. Let's make it a little more dense. There we go. So, there's some vegetables and whatnot to tend to here and there. And let's do a big path right to the front again. And now we can't have any animals getting back here. It's crazy how that happens. It's so seamless. And I think it's a little bit spooky without a light. So let's add a couple. Maybe there's one in here. And then one to the side. There we go. And I imagine that some of these trees back here are actually fruit trees. Because how else are they going to get their apples and oranges and watermelons? Hello, sheep. Okay. With a pretty good looking grocery store and a pretty good looking blacksmith, I think that we might be ready for our next good looking building. Are these the same color roofs? They are. Okay. Now, I think that on this hill I want to do something a little more special. Which might require me getting rid of this path here. For now. Maybe adding to this terrain a bit. Yeah. Let's do that. Alright. I think this might turn this into straight slope. And actually, I have a better idea for that pathway that I'll get to later. Now, for now, I think that this little hill is gonna house a wizard. He kind of just showed up one day. No one really knows who he is or what he does, but they do know that since he's shown up, no more sheep have gone missing. But for right now, he's okay. I think there are some stairs we might be able to add instead of this path. So let's try that. No. Can make it a bit wider, staircase. And let's flatten that down. And bring this down. Gets a little steep at some points. Okay. Maybe we can flatten that and bring this down and do a little bit of a platform here. And we'll bring this up. That up just a little bit. I like that. And so oh, well. That's a pretty nifty feature. Let's bring it up just enough to hide that rock. We'll bring back the path. Let's go a bit lighter with it. There we go. Add some simple flowers. And put a lantern here. It's nice. And just to keep the kids safe. Let's see if we can create just a small little fence. We'll do the same thing right about there. Not much, but something to guide your path. And then I think there's nothing more perfect than the circular wizard's tower. It's gotta be as tall as it can be. Okay, maybe not like that. Maybe it'll look something like this. The purple glow. And they haven't had enough time to really flesh out the path to his home with some stone. But he quickly got some bridges together. I wonder what kind of maybe an old worn look. I do think that's pretty good to do something. Maybe we'll stick with the color of the other buildings, just change the roof. Now his windows. So he goes in and goes around to the side. He'll need a window there. And then as he goes farther up, farther up, There we go. Something like that. But what a lot of people don't seem to know is that it's actually an astronomer. And does a lot of research and seem to figure out that the area here had a really good spot to do some research. Stars. I think that these square windows are probably the best way to go about this. And I don't know if I like the twos more than the ones. Let's say he hasn't maybe had enough time to really get these windows to be a lot bigger. Or maybe he opens up the entire roof to look at the sky late at night when no one's looking. I think that seems pretty plausible. Now, every good wizard needs some spell components to do their projects and work, so he probably grows a number of flowers. There we go. I don't think you would have any trees down in this flower bed, but I think the ones going up to it do just fine. And let's open up this area just a little bit, because I think that he's gonna have a little bit of a water situation. Maybe a few flowers here and there. Then I'm sure that some of this water rushes down into the town, almost. And we might even have a fisherman that lives here. Let's see if we can maybe draw oh wow. Something alright. Yeah, sure. There's some water there. We can look for possibly a small island here and there. I wonder if getting rid of some water here. Okay. And then maybe we have to get rid of that. There we go. I'm gonna create a small little group of flowers. I'm gonna create a riverbed. I think that duck just quacked at me. Maybe just stick to the bank over here. That looks pretty good. And I think I forgot to put some lights over here by the wizard. Let's do that. Maybe his lights are blue. Purple to match his roof. Let's do blue. I think we need one back here by the door. I think that looks pretty good. And okay, so we have banners. Could maybe move this over a bit. And add a banner right here. Let's do just a flower. Sorry, good one for the blacksmith. maybe hang it right here on the side. I think the bird is fitting. He has a birdhouse. He has a bird that likes his animal. I think that works. He also needs a chimney. I could probably even change the roofs just a little bit. This might be fairly normal. But I think the grocery store has a very oval shape. Ovular. And then I'd imagine some sort of fisherman might live over here. So let's do maybe a small shack of sorts. Wouldn't have a big place. Maybe a little bigger than that. I think you would have a very short roof, or you'd have a very tall roof. Maybe not that tall. That kind of looks funny. Maybe it would look something like that. And then we could have bring this all the way down. Now I think this will need to go behind the building. Something like that, maybe. And we could move this actually over here. Right up against that. No. I'm sure that there's a way. There we go. Could create some fences maybe. Then over here. Just gotta get rid of that plant there. Bring this up. I like that. And then this door's a little low, but okay. Maybe not that low. Maybe we could raise the house just a little bit. It seems a little bit more reasonable. Let's see if we can. There we go. Don't need all that. See if we can connect these two. This path might be a little bit bigger. Let's just do this. And then do the offshoot connecting to the stairs. Like that. Hello, sheep. Now, we can center this up. Just a little bit. How about that? Now he's got a bit of an entrance. Is there a fish banner? There isn't. So he doesn't get a banner. Sorry, fisherman. Those actually look fine there. I think that we need to get him a good chair. Let's do a bench. It'll be nice. Then maybe this is some tackle, or oh wait, there totally was a set of fish, wasn't there? Let's see if we can find that. There we go. I think that's just perfect. Makes a little bit of a sloshing sound, but that's okay. I think that's probably it for his back deck. It's not a ton else that I would want to add. I think that we may have to go back to the standard lights back there and do a little something for the back here. We could do a couple lanterns here and there. Oops. Move that tree just a little closer. Maybe right here we can put another one. can never have too much lighting. I'm sure you actually can, but we're gonna act like that's not the case. Now, I want to get something down here, because this entrance still feels a little plain. Do you think maybe he has a simple flower in the front? Or possibly he's the one who buys the pumpkins. Maybe just a little bit. Let's give him the pitchfork. Put that right up against the wall. This was one of his first requests from the blacksmith. It's a nice, sharp pitchfork. I don't know what he uses it for, but no one cares to ask. It's got a pretty simple window. Let's see if we can... There we go. Okay. Let's get rid of this. Pitchfork might seem better over there. Maybe the side of his house just has a bit of a wildflower garden. This sheep better watch out. There's quite a few flowers over there now. But how about that? That looks nice. In doubt, just add a few flowers. Don't want to overdo it, but just add a few around some of the light posts and blank areas. Might even add a small pond here. Nothing much, but enough for a few flowers to start growing. There we go. Now, I think that there's definitely more we could still do. We could still add buildings, and we could still put in a few more places. But for now, I think that's pretty good. Why don't we do a little bit of a walkthrough, maybe? That's pretty. Nice. Oh, that's perfect. Well, how about we start from the beginning? Hello, sheep. Okay. So, here's the blacksmith. Maybe we could bring it down towards evening. Okay. That's morning. Okay. So, back to walking camp. The blacksmith here has a little bird friend that always sits on his anvil, unless I'm walking over here. Oh, there he goes. He tends to his garden and makes his wife jealous because his garden is so cool. He's got logs over here and a little home for his bird. A few projects and a little seat. Always works on the roof, so he needs a ladder. Even got his bird banner. And here's the beautiful front of his house. Just got my toes wet. Whoops. Can even swim with the ducks. Over here on the side, he's got some of his finished projects. And then it's the blacksmith's house. Not too far from him is a small pond. Where there's not much that lives here, because it's very rocky, but I'm sure there's a few frogs that call it home. And then here's the grocery store. Got some pretzels, bread, purple, blue eggplants, maybe? Who knows? And some other vegetables. Wonder why that bird's staring at me. Then we have some rice and some legumes. Some potatoes. And some pumpkins. And then over here in the back we have a whole garden. Just for the grocery store. Now I'd imagine that there's definitely a gardener that tends to and even has his own garden. Makes his money off giving some of these vegetables to the grocery store, but his house isn't built yet, so he doesn't exist. And maybe we can change to be a little bit darker out. Get some of those lights going. As we head over here, Thankfully our path is lit up, even this jack-o'-lantern. It's actually quite nice. The fisherman is over here. As normal, probably on his dock. Go right on through, into the back. And sit right here. He gets to see the wizard tower's shadows moving around the top, where I'm sure the wizard is deep in thought, looking at the moon. Maybe the stars. Maybe he's just hanging out, relaxing. Then we cross this bridge up here. We're actually heading straight to the wizard's tower, where he has some maybe ominous blue lighting, but to him it's a ward to keep some of the bad things away. You can hear the frogs down there. Now let's wake up the town. To a nice early sunset. The wizard's probably sound asleep after staying up so late. Same with the blacksmith, and same with the fisherman. At least they weren't alone when they were. So, let's maybe move where the sun is. We could even bring it back around. The blacksmith to have this bench in the sunrise. Right about there. Perfect. Now, thank you so much for watching this video. If you'd like to see more, check out my channel, where I hope to upload some more of maybe Tiny Glade and a number of other games like this. Just something relaxing to help you fall asleep. Maybe just chill after a long day, study. Who knows?